What is happening, everybody? Thank you very much for joining me on the channel. My name is John Denton and welcome to another full album reaction, and this has been a serious request from the comments. You know I'm in the comments. I'm always looking at the comments. I'm always trying to do my best to get a feeling of what the comments are after, what you guys are actually after. You guys have been asking for Isaiah Rashad, Cilvia Demo for a long time. Now, I thought it was Cilvia Demo until about 3 minutes ago when I actually looked properly at the name of the album on Spotify. I've been saying it wrong in my head and out loud for ages, but it doesn't matter because we're here right now. Quickly before we start, if you are new, please do subscribe to the channel. Please do turn on notifications as well if you'd like to know when I upload. And also, everything on this channel is now supported by my new Patreon. As I'm sure so many of you know, it's actually literally impossible to earn a penny doing music reactions at the moment because of UMG and the like. So if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link down in the description. There's behind the scenes, there's extra vlogs, there's all sorts of extra content in there, and block content as well will go up on the Patreon. So please do take a look if you'd like. And that's about it. Without further ado, I'm excited because what I've heard from Isaiah Rashad, I like a lot. So I'm excited. Let's go in with Cilvia Demo.
My daddy told me you don't need nobody. So one time for the cage bird.
Interesting start to the project. Kind of, I like the distortion on his voice, the kind of a lot of effects on his voice. Obviously, it's kind of an interesting opener as well, isn't it? About, you know, I'm assuming now that this record is going to be kind of like an open book type of record, kind of like a therapy type of record, perhaps. For someone to just come straight in a 1 minute 27 song and say, call the song Hereditary, and then just tell you, you know, what his dad, like relationship with his dad straight away. No uncertain terms, not much metaphor going on there, pretty much straight. Yeah, okay. Kind of sets the tone for what I'm assuming this is going to be like. There's this R.I.P song on track 4 I'm just looking through. So yeah, I kind of know what to expect, I think.
Catch another, you can hit the dust. I done grown up from my child's sake. Black and mild face, blicking blow place. Never crowd space, never skirt chase. Maybe first grade, never last place. Never cup that, love a hook rat. Where this puss at? Brittany had me going on this soul, so I never go back. Blase, sneaking shot day. Fuck a Friday, I was rapper.
Rhymes. I like the energy of the track. I like the fact that it's clearly talking about younger times, but just the rhymes. The rhymes is what's getting me.
I was hating that too. I was flipping your burger high as a bitch, but I'm cool. I think I'm blessed now. I only stress about the stress now. Since I'm fresh now, pull that motherfucking dress down.
Sounds like Summertime. Is that Summertime? Same sample as Summertime?
I heard that you serving all that pussy, what's it going for? I heard that you serving all that pussy, what's it going for? I heard that you serving
the drum and bass.
all that pussy, what's it going for?
Who's that creeping through the city in that dark ass tent? Misdemeanor on the way, yo. I slide in my rimless Bentley, no tights. Some gymnast bending blocks, my world the lake. Goes rapping those rapid woes up. Defiant foes, lying toes, weapons on tuck. Malcolm they tackle for belief in the movement, but naked stepping in the swimming pool, invincible. Women I pursue, get lost in this. I save it for the tour, the allure of the gap tooth, rap tooth, the shape of sun. I always knew he'd make him something. Sometimes I be.
Yeah, this is different level. This is different level. I'm enjoying the rhymes. I'm hearing some bars. It's not one where I'm jumping out every single bar. I've got lyrics up, but I always try and catch the bars and then a reference. But I'm just enjoying the rhymes. I'm hearing the story, and musically, that's why I'm like, this is the one taken away from this album so far. I'm just really enjoying it musically. It's the type of US hip hop that I really do enjoy. The kind of evolution of boom bap. I wouldn't say it's straight boom bap, but just kind of evolution of that. I guess there's a bit of a southern style in there as well. There are elements of Kendrick in there, of course, and Willow's getting a bit of Mac Miller as well.
What up? Hey, what up? Alright, now if I die today, bitch, my legacy is straight. I'm the best they never heard. I'm your brother, just relate. Don't you slip and lose a limb. Slow it down, we losing up. I've been on the bruising that. Shit that's sober, live in hell.
That beat, like something for like some 1940s record with like a piano in there. I'm guessing this song's about Master P's brother. Like I didn't know anything about this situation with him getting murdered. I just didn't. Back like when Percy was the king, back when Juvie was the great, Percy being Master P. That's from Genius. Like, wouldn't pretend that I knew what that meant. So interesting context to the track. But again, this is what I'm getting so far. Musically, it's fucking great and also really cohesive. Like it's one of those. Sometimes a rap album can be a bit all over the place because of different beats, different producers, and you just kind of take it track by track. But this more feels like an album that's been put together as a body of work, trying to create an entire essence throughout it.
Cops ain't neither, they hunting my people. Codeine, I'm back leaning. I cope with my demons. Wake up, wake up. Make it out of chat, who can fire? I'm the prince. It was written in the book, Jeremiah. I got dreams, I got bitches, I got hooks. You can buy them fresh and clean. Make the top fall off on the whip like a candy lollipop on y'all. Xanax ho, get me high, make me feel so tall. You spinning dojo on some pussy, you ain't concentrated. Just wake up.
This is great. This is great. This really is great. Absolutely loving this. All 4 tracks really strong so far. Probably going to be one of those albums that you live with and you get more out of it every single time. But the immediacy is coming from the rhymes and the music, like I said. And I was like, I don't smoke, as you know. I did a long time ago. It doesn't agree with me, but for me, the equivalent is, you know, a nice glass of red wine, a gin and tonic, something like that. That kind of is what does it for me, and that's what I kind of just sort of sit back and a glass of red, just in a nice, in front of a fire, I don't know, and just listen to this and just enjoy it. Even as the subject matter, particularly in that song, some of the subject matter is harsh, but doesn't mean just because you're comfortable in your listening environment doesn't mean what you have to be interacting with is necessarily comfortable. I'm sure, you know, people who talked about reading great literature, they're in comfort, but you know, it allows the mind to then explore whatever the artist is telling them because the rest of the body is in a level of comfort. So that's just kind of what I feel like doing. It's a bit early to pour a glass of wine on a Thursday afternoon and a Thursday lunchtime, in fact, but yeah, just a nice glass of red on a warm evening. Yeah, I mean, if musically it's like this all the way through, I'm gonna love it anyway. But he's clearly extremely skilled as a rapper, particularly when it comes to multi-syllable rhymes, which is something that I've always enjoyed because even if you're not listening to the lyrics, it does something to your ears. But that's not to question his lyricism, but I feel like that's going to be second, third, fourth listens that I'm really going to get into that side of it. Okay, we've got a track featuring SZA now, a couple in a row featuring SZA, in fact.
So don't call me a nigga, unless you call me my nigga. I'm a king, OE, be slipping, falling from my chalice. Don't mind the bumper that was missing from my carriage. Will like it, I promise it's trill vomit, I'm honest. Nigga, ain't no getting money on that conscious shit. I'ma just load my gat on some survival shit. And when I box, baby, I'm just digging in your good shit for the sweet spot. I'ma beat that till that motherfucking beat drop.
My killers, my dealers, my truckers, nigga.
Hope they don't kill you cause you black today. They only feel you when you pass away. The eulogy be so moving. We live the scenes of those movies. Conflict in school or dope moving. It's so youthful. But if you die today, I hope you find some relief or what a great escape.
Music like this is so important, right? Because he's exactly right. The eulogy be so moving. We live the scenes of those movies, and you know there are people like myself who've not experienced that kind of things happening, and obviously you do see things in movies and it creates a detachment doing that, but to hear from somebody speaking that kind of truth, it puts you in a different place of empathy. And that's why I'm saying it is a country, our country, but both countries here in the States continue to get pulled apart by media and politics, and to divisions to be tactically created whether it's along generational lines, whether it's along gender lines, whether it's along race lines. It's so important to just fucking listen. That's what nobody wants to do anymore, especially with social media battering each other. Everybody's putting up their walls. Everybody's having their own shit being triggered by somebody else and just going back and forth, and nobody's listening. And when you truly listen, that is when you can truly empathise, and that's when you can truly try and get a greater appreciation for how it could feel to be in somebody else's shoes. Because ultimately we all live on our own, and everybody has issues, everybody has stuff to deal with day to day. Just getting through life is difficult, even if you're in a much more privileged situation than somebody else. So that's why people shut down and they start to see all that stuff about this person complaining about this, or this sort of life they don't live. There's threats. They start to see that threats, and that's what creates people that act and speak out in ways that seem absolutely repulsive. And you can't understand how anybody could ever think of another person like that, but that's kind of how it happens over time. And when you listen to it, it's so important to hear something like that and have it put so eloquently and movingly and beautifully as well, because then it has a way of worming through. If it's just words and it's just said, or it's just written, or it's just in a piece of footage, it's not quite the same, I don't think. That's the beauty to me of poetry and art. It seems to just cut through, and cuts through to a different part of the mind, or different part of the consciousness. It certainly does for me anyway. I mean, goodness knows I've see the world very differently to how I did even 2 years ago before doing this, just through osmosis, just through fucking truly listening and then researching and looking at stuff I didn't know about our own country's history. Genuinely, it was never taught in schools about, the awful the colonisation and all the stuff that our country did, and also and how all the trade from the beginning of the last century and end of the previous century, and the slave trades in foreign countries and stuff like that. Yeah, they don't teach that to us at school. It's never mentioned. Just swept under the carpet. So that's what I'm saying. Listening is everything, and that's actually what, in so many different ways, this channel is about. And it's not just this type of listening.
Only with a grill because they grilling us, or how they feeling us. Gotta look real and tough. Gotta keep your hands in the cart. No, you still install on me, that nigga.
I got love for my niggas, my killers, my dealers, my trickers, my bros.
Brilliant track. That, to me, first listen, was up there with tracks from To Pimp a Butterfly, honestly. Subject matter. What I loved about it is it didn't compromise what Isaiah Rashad is trying to do musically on this album. We've had 5 songs with a very similar vibe. And even though this subject matter was very strong, very beautifully put, that second verse was absolutely stunning throughout. Came a long way from a boat in an auction. Now we got names in a vote and a coffin. Ancient change with the coast we adopted. Like, it doesn't compromise on how he wants it to sound, and he's managing to speak from a place of detachment and a place of being in the very middle of it simultaneously. Very thoughtful, thought-provoking, moving, but it's not aggressive. He's not telling anybody off. He's not blaming. It's just speaking truth. Brilliant track. Yeah.
Push me to the side. We fell in love with something greater than debating suicide.
What a lyric. At least we fell in love with something greater than debating suicide. Wow.
I travel for you. Say I'm young, I let them push me to the side. Push me to the side.
I think I might like him more than Kendrick, Early doors. And don't get me wrong, Kendrick's astonishing. But the energy of this album so far, and it's not compromising on musically, but it's not compromising on subject matter either. I think I might like it more. Not even halfway through, first time listening, alright? But I just love his energy. I'll try and find the right adjectives as I listen to it more. Exactly, trying to nail down exactly what it is about him that I'm fucking really, really liking. But again, just to repeat myself, musically, this is just so fucking good to listen to. I'm just smiling because it just sounds so good. I'm like, guys, this might end up being one of my favourites on this journey. And that's saying something. That is saying something. Really, really. Because this is like, already I'm like, I can picture myself listening to this in 20 years. I'm going to be old as shit in 20 years. And it's not, I mean, that's not a feeling you get that often. I'm not saying I wouldn't listen to plenty of the other music in that time. But there's albums that are 20 years, 25 plus years old that I still listen to now. Like a select group. And I'm like, I can listen to, I don't know.
I left my daddy around 97. He was lazy. Couldn't hit the ground but making babies. I'm crazy. Smoke a bouquet. Copy from my niggas pushing daisies like a romance. Don't push a nigga buttons like a program. I've been on the Jaeger for a day. Watch me slow dance. Tough as Conan. It's the art of barbarian. I got 4 white, the porno level. She saving cheering about a low and gustle. What is muscle? And I finesse it like I'm Timmy Duncan. When you something, me the coldest back. Sipping on that cognac and that Jim Jones. Watch a movie like damn that Vince Vaughn. It's a funny cat, Ponzi scheme, selling everybody dreams. Killer like your neighbor, I'm as nice as everybody seems. We just breaking bad, and my brother serving Walter White. Hope he ain't caught with that possession, like a poltergeist, like a bitch. You should be a mom, see the sun.
Not yet. Not yet. Not ready for the next song yet. Not ready for the next song yet. Sometimes I just hate being in this cramped space, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. Because that should have been me up on my feet, but I just can't. I literally don't have the room. I came through like a slap in the face after we were relaxing into the album. Bush. That beat. There were so many bars in that track that I missed. I know there was because I caught loads in my head. Walter White, Conan the Barbarian, the White Girls, and then I just lost it. So forgive me, I didn't catch probably 90 bars in that. That wasn't even 2 minutes long. Why didn't you guys tell me about that song? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this is. I mean, if it keeps going like this, I don't know what to think. What next?
Them hard streets make a militant man. Fuck a bitch, be as real as you can. Our education, they tend to say we killers again. But I'd rather get us living a chance. I'm getting patience. I wonder if the world is just a little one. Start with Advil, then we level up. I wonder if my son gon' trust me. Out the song so ugly, by the coming, what ain't never coming. Go figure heaven is a hassle, cuz they don't even want a nigga back in Africa.
Well, thank God for a shoe and hard road for a season. Hey, well, who came from the heavens? They killed for.
You're tranquil for a Brutus and a hard road for a Caesar.
And thank God for the leader. And thank hard for a message. Blink off.
It's really to pray. It's really in danger. I'm willing to pray. I'm feeling the angels. It's liquor to save you. This moment contains
Brutus. Hey, and hard road for a season. Hey, well, who came from the heavens? They killed for a blessing. They thank God for the shooter.
I don't even know. Fucking hell. I don't even feel like I scratched the surface with that song. I don't even feel like I scratched the surface. I don't think I scratched the surface of the whole record yet. I feel like I'm going to be living with this record for a long time. I had no idea. No idea. I've heard a bit of it before, but I had no idea this is on this level. I don't even know what it is about it that's speaking so much to me on an extra level. There's so much music that I've heard on this journey and in my life that really, really speaks to me or hits me or moves me so much. We've seen it. You've seen it. It's on there. It's filmed. But something about this has just gone one step beyond. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need to watch some interviews with the man afterwards just to kind of get his vibe as a person talking as well. That might make more sense, because there are certain types of people that I just feel a kind of connection with. Maybe he's like that, but my goodness, we're over halfway through now. It can't be anything other than great, even if the rest of it's crap. But, well, I've heard Heavenly Father and I know that's great, but I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, she's so fuckable, and she got the menthol. And told you brought the trees and turned my trousers to cement drawers. Sleeping on couches, only vouchers is my in-laws. I'm getting fed and I can fuck all night. Y'all too busy popping Molly, you could die off hype.
And they say mine is sovereign, and I say no, not me. And I don't love no more. I wonder if I could call you tomorrow.
Dude, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. I haven't found the adjectives yet. I mean, the amount that was going on musically in that song, from the sound of the ice clinking in the glass when she sang about had a couple of drinks, to the sort of disconnected voice that was speaking in the background while everything was going on, and making the whole thing feel like accessing memories. Never mind just the beautiful melody of it. Never mind the subject matter. Never mind the lyrics. Never mind the hook.
Modest, I be in interview, so niggas hating, cause I play it like I had no clue that I'm the greatest. Tory come, sit up on this dick, I see you waiting, nigga, don't blow up. We came without the phone, why niggas act like they don't know us? Just living a lie, OGs, acting like hoes, we couldn't rekindle the fire. Nigga retire, nigga catch up at the time, I can see more than the block. Be in living room, cause nigga shaded with my knee alone. I sing her a song, she masturbating and bring me along.
Oh, this is fucking hell. The flow on this one is completely different to everything else, and it's just driving the track in a completely different ways to anything else, and it's fucking amazing again. At first I was like, no, I'm not quite feeling this one as much as the others. Who am I? Who am I to say that? Who am I to say that? It didn't take long. Now this verse already amazing.
Niggas carry bombs and carry rabies. Who gon' speak for you? Who gon' sing your song if you don't play it? Yeah. Niggas try to tell you what you want. Niggas rarely give you what you need. Yeah. Now everybody telling me a lie. Lord, they give me something for my soul. See, I don't wanna think of suicide, so please don't take the lucky on my door. See, I've been tired of fucking all these girls, and I've been tired of spending all my dough. And if I get my story to the world, I wonder if they book me for a show. They tell it wrong, and glorify the horror in the wealth. Now mama.
Okay, that lyric, see, I don't want to think of suicide, so please don't take the lock key off my door. On the Genius, they've written if somebody's suicidal, they wouldn't let them have a lock on the door. Okay, I didn't take it as that. I was taking he wants to lock the stuff that's going to make him feel like that inside in his brain, and he doesn't want that to be unlocked because he doesn't want to think about that stuff that's going to take him to that level.
Now I'm praying that I make it 25. Davey called the doctor for my health. And know it's kinda hard to say the drugs, cause I've been having problems with myself. And I've been asking questions what is love, and they don't give me answers, just a check. And they don't know my issues as a child, cause I was busy cutting on myself. And hanging from the playground wasn't wrong, until you got a rope on your neck. And I've been losing more than just my mind, Gatherings of a 20-something. I drink too often, there's liquor pouring from the faucet. You would assume fluctuated with violence, gun in my fucking mouth. So you don't know that I'm serious, know what I'm talking about. Like, you got punchlines for days, it's so generic, you float. You too cold, your age.
Right, so some of those lines and some of that song, that astonishing, amazing, incredible piece of music that I just heard, that I have heard before but never really, I reacted to it before, but not like that. Some of them hit me, you can tell, and sometimes music does. And, you know, I'd hit there and have a little moment to myself while listening to something, and then just get on with my day. And now it's on film, so it's a little bit different, but I'm not going to cut it out. That is one of the most intelligent, introspective songs I've ever heard lyrically, any genre. It's so smart. He knows so much about what he's talking about what he's been feeling. He's clearly been speaking to professional people as well, and so he has that perspective as well. And I truly believe that third verse is him talking to himself and him being that part of himself that's beating himself up from the trauma that he's been through in the past. And you can also take it as he's talking at someone else, like, you've got punchlines for the day, so generic, you're flow, you're too cold, you're aged. But I think he's talking to himself. Dude, we've got 3 tracks left.
This shit might open the door. It might open the door for the young, honeycomb for some. My brother got way, my sister at home. When I get straight, my sister getting flown. Couple nephews, my niggas getting grown. Mikey D stay down, nigga getting on. Can I get a glass cup and a little Henny? Feedback, come out to my show and come feed that. Can't go back to selling at retail. My daddy left me with no details. Came back with a bitch and a stepson. I guess he forgot that he left some. The biz in the backseat. Them vices, they swarm and attack me. Got me. Hanging out some Master P on the road. I prefer my word with platinum teeth. Maybe gold, they don't like it when you come direct. Well, fuck, but spotted bold, tell them hope they better come correct. Like sister 80s, I was born, I think in 91. That mean I'm chosen when I slide it through your hood, bitch.
Boys in the bus that around.
I didn't know who Brad Jordan was, but Scarface, fine.
Feel like I'm Brad.
And rappers be too passive, like it's just me, my brother, spotted bitch, sitting low. I've been drinking since my mama called around 4.
You needed a couple of tracks like Banana and this one, a little bit harder, a little bit, still got substance in there, but you needed something after Heavenly Father to kind of just pick you back up. And both of these tracks just sound fucking good. This is hard. It has that kind of southern lilt to it as well, which I really like.
I take a drag at the square. I feel anxious, bit dangerous. It's a verbal appearance. It's reflecting my perspective. Fear, goggle, and fear. No cry till I'm in the pine box. I got the bitches hitting Mikey like where they at. Probably fucking on a friend, probably LA at. Probably plotting on the meal, staying welfare at. Bitch, don't run your mouth, we don't play that. Mama, what you do now? Now I came, I saw, I conquered. I shot you down, now I bang out.
Look.
Don't make
everything takes time. Is you selling or you buying, nigga? Get rich or die trying. Yeah, on the stove.
I think he's the most underrated rapper in the world, J-Rock. Most underrated rapper in the world.
Still here, I'm still counting my blessings. With no chains on, with no rings on. Watching these fake rappers getting my aim on.
Gonna catch a hollow, or maybe even throw them. Pyro. See the set don't make too many niggas rich that I know.
You down now, your brain no have no conscience. Hey, what you do now?
Brilliant. Guys, what just happened? I barely scratched the surface. You have to forgive me, especially on that last track. You know, I wasn't there breaking down bars like I normally try to do. I was just kind of just enjoying the music. I was gone a little bit after Heavenly Father, to be honest. And I just had to let the rest of the album ride out. You'll forgive me on that one. I still love the track. Both J-Rock and Schoolboy sounded fantastic on the track. Isaiah sounded fantastic on the track. The hook was brilliant. Beat was brilliant. But dude, that's a different level. That I don't know what to say. I honestly feel like I've just been served an incredible piece of art, and I just had a little. I've only done one layer in. That's all it feels like. One layer in. So much more to dive into. There's so much texture in all of that music. I mean, he's a musician. I know he's not necessarily making the beats, but the fact that the whole album has such an essence, I preferred that. First listen, controversial it may be, but I preferred that to Pimp a Butterfly. Now I know it wasn't as conceptual as that. It wasn't so it touched on it in certain tracks, but it obviously, Ronnie Drake being the obvious example, but it wasn't an album all about that. But at the same time, TDE, similar time frames. Obviously, to Pimp a Butterfly was a little bit later, I believe. First Listen, one of the best hip hop albums, one of the best rap albums I've ever heard. As the rain starts to pour down, quite fittingly. I heard a lot of people talk about different artists who talk about mental health, and I've always been somebody who likes a bit of poetry in my music, in my writing, metaphor, simile, solve some puzzles, create some puzzles, tell mood through symbolism. That's why I love Elliott Smith so much. And you know what I mean? I hear about this artist NF, people talk about NF, you're taking a piss. That was just beautiful, just so beautiful. That's an artist truly talking about it. I don't get any ounce of cynicism from it either, and you get that a lot about people talking about these subject matters these days, because you don't necessarily believe everybody, because you think maybe that's a trend I can jump onto, because I felt a bit stressed in my life, so I can jump on that trend and that'll get me more likes, get me more streams, get me more whatever the hell's. But that from Isaiah, I love authenticity. It's everything to me. Match that with beautiful poetry, beautiful artistry, plus an energy of hope, an energy of there's a fragile beauty to this man. I'd be devastated if I went and saw interviews with him and he was brash and unpleasant and not nice to people, because he may be, I don't know, but he has a fragile beauty, but also also a self-confidence. There's self-esteem issues, but there's shit, man. I may build him up. I may build an image of the man up in my mind that doesn't really necessarily correspond to who he is. And apologies for the rain coming down. I can't help it. I live in England after all. But yeah, before it gets too loud and I can't record anymore, what an amazing piece of work. Thank you so much to everybody that was getting me and asking me and hammering me to react to this. That's about it, guys. I'm very much looking forward to doing more of Isaiah's music. I'm very much looking forward to listening to this again. Made it this far, let me know down in the comments. Drop the unsub down in the comments, how it works. And also, if you love reactions like this, please do consider clicking the Patreon link down below. The only way I can keep doing reactions like this, which is what I love to do, and I think they're so important as type of music media. It has to be with your guys' support, because the labels do take every penny, unfortunately. And if you're new, please do subscribe, please do follow me on socials and chat to me on there. And once again, thank you to everybody who recommended this. I'll see you guys in the comments, man. What a treat, what a pleasure. Alright, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. I've been John Denton. Thank you. Peace.